don't suppose with Mrs. Krause convalescing anyone's given you much instruction around here.
Oh, I'm well experienced, my lady.
Nevertheless, I've written up a list of your daily instructions.
Oh, thank you, my lady.
Something else, a word to the wise. Don't remain alone in a room with his lordship. Do you understand why?
I believe I do, my lady, yes. I'll be careful.
I'm sure you will. Pray you don't take this as a threat. Just a very unfortunate fact that any indiscretions between his lordship and his maid will be laid upon her feet, not his. And you'll find yourself dismissed without a reference. I would hate for that to happen to you, Jessica.
Oh, no, my lady, I'm a good girl. I'll be mindful.
I'm sure you are. Run and cut some fresh flowers from the gardener and come back and dry the floor.
Yes, my lady.
Pretty, isn't it?
Taking it from the vault already, whatever for.
The poor darling has been locked up in the dark for years. And diamonds are meant to reflect light, especially on a woman. That's what they were made for.
I never knew that. That's what they're for?
Yes.
I've always wondered.
You feign nonchalance, but I know how keen you are to sell the star.
And you, on the other hand, have no desire for the money. Does that mean you want none of what it brings at auction? No.
After you settle your gambling debts, will there be any left?
Well, you don't think there will be. Let me offer you something more substantial, like a plate of fish and chips.
Cod or haddock?
Mackerel. You know, my dear, under the law, you claim no share of that diamond.
Have another
Be so
drink.
dismissive.
Have another drink, Peter.
That's why I came in. Because I have a glass.
You broke it, darling. Take a fresh one.
And what do you know about my alleged gambling debts?
Now, I know that Jack Century is coming here to collect, and don't pretend that he isn't.
Maybe bringing me my winnings. Now, go ahead.
Very good, my lord.
I took it out of the vault because the man from Sotheby's is coming to collect it, or have you forgotten?
No, I haven't forgotten. Tomorrow,
Jessica,
Day
it's
out.
rather warm in here. Will you open the garden door?
Yes, my lady.
They sent over a list of bidders who submitted their bank references. Do you care to take a look at it?
anyone we know of?
No, there were only 3, and they're all foreigners.
Uh, that's a blessing. Neither this, I'll look at it later. Take a look at that ball. The notorious Star of Arabia. 50 carats of rotten luck. I wonder if that's the reason why you're barren. I wonder if all big diamonds are cursed or just the ones that live in England.
I don't believe that diamonds are cursed at all. I believe it's their owners that are cursed, especially the ones that live in England. But who knows? Perhaps once we're rid of it, maybe luck will change for both of us.
Thank you, Collier.
What do you think, Collier?
I have no doubt it will, my lady.
That's a refreshing breeze of optimism.
Are you just being pleasant? Because such sentiments are a complete waste around here.
No, I'm in earnest. I had feared that you and his lordship would close this house, but now it seems your prospects have improved.
Collier, you need have no fear of being dismissed.
Oh, that's right, old man. I'll sell my wife's horse before I part with you, if you come to think of it.
They're very funny, Peter.
If you don't part with your horse, what about some of this worm-eaten furniture? Collier, what do you think?
Oh, I say good riddance. It's all old and ponderous.
Hey. And how about those portraits of my homely ancestors whose names I can never remember? Think anybody would want them?
A museum, perhaps, my lord.
Not likely.
Then perhaps a theatrical company.
Oh, I love that. Great guns apart, stage play. Preferably burlesque, but whoopee cushions.
You're drunk again, Peter. And I must change and be on my way.
What you got?
Sotheby's, I'm to meet with the man who's to safeguard the star since you refused to.
Why should I bother? Sure he knows his business. Hopefully he's not foolish enough to come here by himself.
If I may make a suggestion, my lord, you may wish to enlist the help of Mr. Sherlock Holmes to look after the title.
Sherlock Holmes, bit out of his line, isn't it?
Not sure he'd be interested.
You don't know him?
I haven't had the honor. I did serve under a friend of his, Dr. John Watson, in Afghanistan. I think he would remember and put in a good word.
Perhaps I shall. Can you tell Henry to bring the carriage around?
Very good, my lady. May I take the liberty of giving him the directions to Baker Street, where Mr. Sherlock Holmes has rooms?
Yes, thank you, Collier. Let Henry know I'll be ready shortly. Give this note to the cook and this one to the gardener.
Very good, my lady.
You go with your damn notes in the hell. You really are quite insufferable.
Well, you're welcome to take over running the estate just as soon as you sober up.
It's not worth the sacrifice.
Will there be anything else, my lord?
Yes. I'll be expecting Jack Sentry at any moment. Please make sure he doesn't bump into Lady Iris.
Very good, my lord.
Oh, Biddy, you can't, my lord. I'll come right back and dry the floor.
Keep doing what you're doing. Don't mind me.
Very good, my lord.
By the way, what's your name? Oh, perhaps another time.
Bad news, Governor.
Across the board.
Across the board, none of your horses came in.
What are we up to?
1,160 on behalf.
Suppose it could be worse. You won't drink.
No, thank you. But could be worse. Well, that's what gets me about you title blokes being so blasé about your debts. One day you're all eager to put a flutter on a horse, the next you can't even remember what horses you picked. And it never matters to you that old Jack Sentry's carrying your debt, even though I've got other obligations to pay.
You go back a long ways. Jack, you know I'm good for it.
How are you now? You can pay your butler, your cook, and all your other help, but you can't pay old Jack Sentry. How's that make you good for it?
Not today, Jack, but very soon.
Well, I should hope so, for both our sakes. Huh. And there's today's racing form. You're wanting to place another bet, aren't you?
Audentes fortuna juvat.
What's that?
Luck favors the bold, Jack. Works better than a rabbit's foot.
So, my lord, how much longer you expect me to carry you before I gotta get impolite?
Let me show you something, Jack. You ever seen the likes of that, mate?
Diamond, is it?
The Star of Arabia.
Huh. Is that a gold chain?
Oh, never mind the chain. This diamond was brought from Turkey by my grandfather. I've kept it in the vault all these years for a rainy day. I think that last year's floods qualified. So I'm auctioning it this very week. Sotheby's thinks it'll fetch more than 20,000 pounds.
Blimey.
See, I have enough to strip my debt off your cuff and buy you a new rabbit's foot. That one's going bald. So, what do you say? Put 40 quid on Seascape in the fall.
40 quid on a horse running at 30 to 1. That'll put you even 1,200 in the hole. But you still think you're jamming, don't ya? So what day's that auction?
Wednesday,
At Sotheby's, you say?
10 a.m.
All right, I'll take your bet. But I'll be at that auction Wednesday morning, and we'll settle it up then. The objections to that?
Nine. Try to avoid my wife.
I always do.
Thank you, Jack.
Now, Governor, don't get the idea we're family. A debt's a debt, and I expect a punter to pay what he owes. Doesn't matter to me whether he lives in a manor house or sleeps in the park. Old Jack Sentry, he treats them all the same. I know how to be polite, but I've got some gentlemen that you wouldn't want to meet up with after dark. Do you understand me?
Perfectly.
Then I bid you good day. Good luck on your auction and your horse in the fourth.
Seascape.
Yeah, Seascape, 30 to 1. Good day, Governor.
Say bye, Jack. This day I place before thee a blessing and a curse, life and death. Who are you? How did you get in here?
Easy enough. I wasn't expected.
What do you want?
I think you know what I want. I'll take it. Be on my way. You can finish your drink here. Easy now. Hand it over.
I know you. You used to work here.
Until you sacked me.
Rudy's your name, isn't it? You've come back to steal the Star of Arabia. Oh, fool. You can't possibly sell it. No jeweler or gem dealer in England would touch it.
Not my concern. It's not yours. Happens, I have a customer who wants it.
Ah!
Now look what you've done. Made it easy for me. Guess I'll have to finish the job.
Ah!
Holmes, fix your sleeve. Put on your suit coat. You have a visitor. Don't you wish to know who it is? It's a lady. And I should add, she's quite fetching. She wishes to engage your services on a case. A murder case.
Murder, you say? Show her in.
Lady Iris, won't you come in? Lady Iris, this is Sherlock Holmes. Holmes, this is...
Lady Iris Carraday, a pleasure. I see you hurried here from your country estate in Shelburne, St. Peter.
Yes, how did you know?
Chalk from that road is on your shoes. Its color is quite distinctive. And forgive me if I'm being indelicate, But your horses must have cantered the whole way as the scent of high lather lingers. Mrs. Hudson! Oh, so good of you to be eavesdropping.
Oh, I just wondered if your visitor might like.
Some refreshments, of course. She's had a long carriage ride. Or perhaps she'd like to powder her nose.
Actually, I would.
Come with me, lady.
No, Lady Iris, I'm so sorry. I was remiss in not offering you the chance to go. Never mind.
This way, my lady.
It seems I shouldn't. Seems I sell us horses.
Mr. Holmes, how could you say such a thing?
With solicitude, I assure you. Lady Iris, I see you're dressed in black. Who has died?
My husband,
Lord Carraday, when?
2 days ago.
Pray, sit, tell me.
Our butler's gone missing,
And?
and a very valuable diamond is also
The
missing.
Star of Arabia.
Yes. The inspector from the Scotland Yard,
Lestrade.
yes, the Inspector Lestrade believes that
The butler did it. Well, that's Lestrade for you, but you're not convinced. Is that what brought you here?
Well, in fact, before any of this happened, our butler suggested I come here. Apparently he knew you, Dr. Watson, in Afghanistan.
He said I knew him. What's his name?
Collier.
And his given name?
Alec, I
Oh,
believe.
Alec Collier. Of course. He was a sergeant in my brigade. Oh, quite a stout fellow. Once carried a wounded comrade on his back for 2 miles to bring him to my surgery. I've never seen the like of it. But Lady Iris, go with Mrs. Hudson now.
Lady Iris, why were you selling your diamond?
It was either sell the contents of the estate or sell the estate itself. The flood devastated our tenants last year, and I don't know if you know this, Mr. Holmes, but my husband was a very heavy gambler, and he lost quite often. The diamond was to be our salvation, but now it's turned out to be a curse.
I've heard those diamonds are cursed. That's why they keep them locked up in the tower.
Mrs. Hudson, can't you see Lady Iris wishes to freshen up?
Oh, yes, please come with me.
Lady Iris.
Holmes, let Lady Iris go with Mrs. Hudson. Your question can wait.
Oh, forgive me. I just wish to know if your husband had any enemies.
The inspector asked me the same question, and the only one that I can think of is Jack Sentry. In fact, he was at our home the day Peter was murdered. I was not supposed to know. Peter didn't want me to know, but I heard them speaking inside the library, and minutes later, Peter was dead.
Now, say no more. I know the man. Mrs. Hudson.
Yes, Mrs. Hudson, why haven't you escorted Lady Iris yet?
Mr. Holmes, I've been trying to.
Well, then do it. So you recognize that name, Jack Sentry?
Oh, I'm rather surprised that you don't. He's a bookmaker with a wide acquaintance.
Ah,
Jack Sentry is familiar among the wealthy gentlemen. He's discreet and can book the larger bets. A Lord Carraday may have owed him a goodly sum.
at a time when he was short on money. Is Sentry capable of murder?
Well, Jack Sentry's more likely to arrange for one than do it himself. I hear he has some rather disagreeable associates.
But Lestrade suspects the butler, a man you give good character to.
It's quite possible that Alex Sentry has changed since his days as a soldier. And it wouldn't be the first time a man returns from war and gives in to his demons. But I doubt it.
Lestrade will need to find him and the diamond before he can close his case.
Holmes, I haven't seen anything about this in the newspaper, have you?
Not a word.
But where do you plan to start?
At the murder scene, Lestrade has likely spent little time investigating, and if fortune should shine upon us, we'll find a clue he's overlooked. Mrs. Hudson, has Lady Iris finished powdering her nose? Blades of grass. Likely the murderer entered through here. Drop of blood. Clearly he left the same way and was either wounded or his knife was dripping.
Now, Holmes, must you be so graphic?
Forgive me. Lady Iris, where does the path outside this door lead?
To the stables.
Were you and your husband both equestrians?
Not exactly. I ride, but Peter's interests ran no further than betting on them.
Ah, Saturday's racing form. One horse chosen, seascape in the four. Thank you, most instructive. Decanter of gin left uncapped. Surely your butler would have seen to that if he had time. Was your husband a heavy drinker?
I'm afraid so.
I take it the body lay here.
Yes, Inspector said that there were 2 wounds. One on his abdomen and...
Lady Iris, if revisiting the scene of these events is too much for you...
It's all right, Dr.
Are you
I
quite
must
sure, Holmes?
Rely on me. Rely on me. I must be spared.
Lady Iris, is this the box the diamond was in?
Yes.
Why is it here and not in your vault?
That was my doing. I was having a last look before the man from Sotheby's was coming.
When?
Today, actually.
So you wanted 2 days to have a last look?
I'm a woman, Mr. Holmes, not a gem trader.
Point taken. Though the empty box is dispositive.
Why would that matter?
Sitting empty in the middle of the room draws attention to the fact that the diamond is missing. If Collier were the thief, he would have taken the diamond in the box, disappeared quietly, no harm would have befell Lord Peter, and it could have been a full day before anybody noticed it was missing. No, it's more likely that Lord Peter took it out to show or give to someone else.
Jack Sentry?
So your theory is that Peter may have given it to Jack Sentry to secure his gambling debts?
That's possible. Hello. This is curious. Lady Iris, did you know you were missing a fire iron from this room?
I don't believe so.
And what pray has become of your poker?
Seems to be missing.
In that case, we're done here.
The bid is now at 410 pounds, ladies and gentlemen. 410. An excellent landscape by Jacob Brewer in pristine condition. Who will pay 420?
420.
Thank you, Mr. Bonus, at 420. From the American gentleman. 430 is next.
430.
Thank you, Madam Karovna. The bid is now 430. Is this Scottish landscape bound for St. Petersburg or Chicago?
500.
Mr. Bonus says Chicago. 500 is the number. Fair warning, I'm going to sell it for 500 pounds. Sold, Mr. Bonus. Congratulations, sir.
Madam, I regretted bidding against you, but this painting is for my daughter who's building a home in Chicago.
Not at all, Mr. Holmes. Yet I
known you wanted it for her, I might have stopped earlier.
Well, that's very kind of you, ma'am. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I regret to inform you that the Star of Arabia is not available for sale at present. So that concludes today's items.
Wait, what's that?
This is most irregular. Why is it not?
I'm afraid I have very little information, Mr.
Anslow.
Mr. Anslow. Lady Iris just now sent me a message. There's nothing confidential in it. Shall I read it to you?
Yes, please do.
A terrible tragedy has befallen our household, and for this reason, I must withhold the Star of Arabia temporarily. I hope no one is inconvenienced by the postponement. Please direct all queries to Mr. Sherlock Holmes at 221B Baker Street. Sincerely, Lady Iris Carday. And that is all the information I have.
Wait, Lady Iris? Not Lord Peter?
We've not heard from Lord Peter.
Oh, well, I've wasted my time here today, haven't I?
Grandpa,
Certainly. I beg your pardon.
thank you.
Madam, my carriage is at your service. Where would you like to go?
My hotel, if it's not out of the way.
Well, where are you staying?
Claridge's.
Well, that is not a bit out of my way. I'm staying there too, shall we?
Inspector Lestrade to see you.
At last, show him in. Oh, my dear Inspector, so good to see you.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Holmes. Dr. Watson.
Inspector?
Come to discuss a case with you, the murder of Lord Peter Carradine.
Good heavens! Lord Carraday's been murdered! Why, this is shocking! Watson, have you read anything about this in the papers?
Read about it? No, not a word. If it was in the Times, I must have missed it.
Now see here, Holmes, I know you've been engaged by Lady Carraday to look into the matter, and that you've been to investigate the crime scene.
Where'd you hear that?
I have it from Lady Carraday herself. That's why I'm here.
Well, you'll forgive me for not being more forthright, as you seem to have managed to keep the murder of a member of the House of Lords a complete secret. Why?
Well, as I'm sure Lady Carraday has told you, it appears the blighter that killed him stole a very valuable piece of jewelry.
Yes.
Star of Arabia.
That's the one. Said to be worth over £20,000. Now, I thought if we were tight-lipped about it, might make the murderer careless trying to get rid of the stone.
Perhaps if we knew who the murderer was, I might agree with you.
Oh, we know who it is, all right. This Collier fellow, the butler.
The butler did it. Really?
Yes, the Carraday's butler. He went missing same time as the stone. Now, I thought if we kept his name out of the papers and watched the shops and the traders, he might try to sell the diamond, and then we'll have it.
Unless he knows that selling a 50-carat diamond would be like pawning the Mona Lisa. No one would touch it.
Well, maybe he doesn't know that.
I suppose anything's possible.
That's right, Holmes. Anything's possible.
Well, then could you possibly do me a favor?
And what's that?
Release a story to the press. Tell them how gruesomely Lord Peter was killed, and that you're in search of Mr. Alec Collier. Furthermore, Be sure to mention that I have been retained to assist in the investigation.
You want me to publicize the case and put your name in the paper? I don't understand. You usually don't want to be mentioned till afterwards.
This is an exception.
All right. Is there anything else?
Yes, there's one more kindness you could perform. Lady Iris's fireplace poker has been mislaid. Can you put a man on it?
You want me to look for a fireplace poker during a murder investigation?
Yes, and let me know if you find it at once.
I'm not sure I can spare a man for a thing like that just now. Is it important?
Vitally.
Oh, very well.
Thank you, Inspector. Most kind of you to come. Mrs. Hutton?
I was just walking by.
Oh, there you are again. How fortuitous. Would you be so good as to show the inspector out?
Inspector?
Until then, Holmes. Doctor?
Good day, Mr. Ivy. Holmes, why do you want to have this story in the newspaper?
As a signal to Collier, if he's still alive, I wanted to come here.
And what's the significance of the fireplace?
Nothing if it's merely been mislaid or if a cook has taken to use it in the kitchen. Otherwise, it may save Collier from the gallows.
Gentleman to see you, Mr. Holmes. I can't pronounce his name. He is an Arab gentleman.
Show him in. And Mrs. Hudson, you may as well stay instead of hovering outside the door.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes.
Ah, Mr. Holmes, I presume.
No, my name is Dr. John Watson. This is Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, please forgive my error. My name is Sheikh Saud Al-Din Bakri. Your landlady had a difficulty with my name. I'm afraid my calling card is in Arabic.
Are you new to London?
I am, yes.
Oh, where are you from?
Kuwait, you're familiar.
Kuwait, on the Arabian Peninsula. I believe it's a British protectorate.
That is true at the moment, but we have hopes of better days to come.
Certainly you didn't come here to discuss Middle East politics. What can we do for you, Sheikh Bakri?
I am seeking the diamond for the Star of Arabia. I was disappointed when it was withdrawn from sale at Sotheby's. Do you know when it will be offered?
Lady Iris Faraday will make that determination. She's had a bereavement.
So I've heard. A terrible tragedy.
How did you hear? The police have kept word of it confidential.
It was related to me by one of my servants, by a man who sweeps the floor at Scotland Yard. He's a fellow countryman, and he overheard two constables speaking. Dr. Watson, in your travels, no doubt you have observed even the most tight-lipped Englishman to carelessly ignore dark-skinned menials.
Yeah, I regret to say that is true.
Do you know when the Star will be available?
Is there some urgency on your part?
Only that my time in London is short. I must soon return to my country.
I see.
I have taken the liberty of writing Lady Faraday my condolences and offering to purchase the Star for a very generous sum. I hope such an approach is customary in England, but as I said, I have very little time.
Well, there's nothing improper about offering help and comfort to a grieving widow.
I wish someone had helped me when my husband died. We buried him in a sooty-out robe. Had to cut it up the back so it would button in the front.
Oh, that's a pity, Mrs. Hudson. Tell me, Sheikh, why are you so keen to have this stone?
You know the history of the Star.
Now that's something I'm here.
9 decades ago, our Sunni fathers sacked the city of Karbala in Iraq. They raided the Jews in the tomb of Al-Hussein, grandson of the Prophet, peace be upon him. The Star was the greatest of his treasures.
Grave robbers were they?
No, I'm afraid that's true.
Fascinating.
There is more.
Oh, I want to hear it.
The Star came into the hands of Emir Faisal. While captive in Cairo, the Star disappeared.
Oh, well, that's interesting.
The Star reappeared during the Crimean War. Amir Aziz, Sultan of the Ottomans, sold the Star to William Caraday, Lord Caraday's grandfather. It was a private transaction and not related to Lord Caraday's diplomatic duties. Now, it falls upon me to return the Star to its rightful owner, Ibn Saud.
Well, Sheikh, kindly give your letter to Dr. Watson. He's far more tactful when it comes to widows, or any women for that matter.
I am most grateful. By any chance, have you gotten me the star? Is it here?
It is not.
I am relieved. Let me warn you, though. Do not let this star repose with you, for I have not yet told you the entire history.
There's more?
Star of Arabia bears a curse. All those who have transported it from its owner have suffered a terrible death. Missing caravans, poisoned guardians, death by slaughter.
That's a pity, but...
Perhaps the most tragic of all was Lord William Gaddaway's cousin, rumored to be his mistress. She wore the star to the coronation of Queen Victoria. On the way back from Westminster, her carriage, rose to wheel, tumbled off a bridge. The poor young woman was decapitated.
What a frightening story.
I could tell you even more.
Oh, no, I think that's quite enough.
I don't wish to tire you with my stories. I have written a short history of the star and its curse. The manuscript is inadequate, but a translation is being prepared. May I take the liberty to send you a copy?
Most kind of you.
Sheikh Bakri, are you not concerned about the star's curse? If your intention is to transport it back to Arabia.
No. I wish to purchase it free with my own funds, with no expectation of recompense, so I need not fear the curse. But let me advise you, do not harbor or transport the star, lest you meet with a terrible end. I bid you, madam and gentlemen, a good afternoon.
I'll show you one.
Good afternoon, Sheikh Bakri. From all of us. Holmes, in case you haven't noticed, our visitor is gone.
I noticed.
What do you make of his story?
You mean the curse? I've heard better tales at bazaars and flea markets.
So why would he concoct such a story if it wasn't true?
To prevent us from searching for the diamond, as it appears he suspects it is missing.
So you doubt its history and misfortune?
Only that they were caused by a curse.
How do you propose to get it back?
One step at a time. First we must find Lady Iris's fireplace poker. I trust it will point us in the right direction.
Inspector Lestrade has returned, Mr. Holmes.
Oh, show him in.
Unless I'm very much mistaken, we're about to receive some good news.
Inspector, so good to see you again, and so soon.
Yes, Doctor. Now, I have returned to the yard, and right off, one of my men tells me there's been a body found near the Carriday estate. I have a look at the evidence, and what do you know, there's the missing
Fireplace poker, and fortune has indeed shined upon us, Watson. The tip is caked in blood.
Yes, I'll have to have that back, Holmes. That's a murder weapon.
Wonderful. Whose body was it?
A fellow named Rooney. We know him. We had arrested him several times, usually for petty theft, but a couple times for assault and battery. He was found with the poker through his heart. Rather reminded me of that harpoon case you solved a while back. It seemed to be by a rather stout hand.
Stout. The very word Watson used to describe Rooney's killer.
Oh, and who would that be?
Alec Collier, the butler you erroneously suspect.
Well, that would explain why he had the Carraday's fireplace poker.
Precisely. I take it you haven't had any luck in locating him?
Not yet, but we're on it.
Inspector, could you be so good as to treat him gently if you find him, and let me know at once?
Right. I've also read the contents of Rooney's pockets. I thought you might want to have a look.
I do indeed.
Let me take care of that.
I found that knife on Rooney, blood on that too.
I see. And a rabbit's foot key fob.
Likely to fend off the effects of the curse, I venture.
Do you think so?
No. P.C. Peter Carriday.
Apparently Rooney didn't know that a good thief never carries an item in his pocket with another man's monogram on it. CSPCTU 300. Most suggestive.
Any idea what that's about?
No, but may I keep it for now?
I don't see why not.
Mrs. Hudson, would you be so good?
One more question about Mr. Rooney. Do you know if he was acquainted with Jack Sentry?
Most likely. Sentry hires thugs, and Rooney was a thug for hire.
Thank you, Inspector. Here's your parcel and your poker. Good day.
Thank you. Mrs. Hudson, I'll show myself out.
In the straw.
Doctor.
What next?
It's our task to determine who hired Rooney to kill Lord Peter.
Why do you think anyone hired him? He was a thief stealing a diamond. No need to complicate matters.
You may be right, old man, but I don't believe it. What good is a major diamond to a minor thief? Why, someone put him up to this.
No, but who?
Well, he's dead and can tell no tales. But if he didn't deliver the diamond his employer would still want it, he would have gone to Sotheby's for the auction. We know who the prospective bidders were, including Sheikh Bakri. Let's meet the rest of them.
I rarely put my foot down, Mr. Holmes. But if you happen to find that diamond, kindly don't bring it here.
I'll see to that, Mrs. Hudson.
Thank you, Doctor. It's enough that we have bullet holes in the walls, and severed hands, and formaldehyde. We don't need any Arabian desert curses.
Hardly in any form to be sketched, Mr. Anslow. My eyes are nearly swollen shut.
And it's your eyes I most want to capture. Turn your head to the right, just an inch. Perfect.
I don't suppose this is a normal way for a widow to be comforted, but I appreciate it nonetheless.
I hoped you'd find it diverting. It was good of you to meet with me at this most difficult hour. All of us at the Randolph Club are deeply grieved by Lord Peter's passing.
You may say murder, Mr. Anslow. I've grown quite used to hearing it this week.
I'm sure you have. We'll miss it. I always liked seeing him at our grouse hunts.
He was quite keen about his guns.
Is there anything I can do to assist you during this ordeal, besides drawing your picture?
Very kind of you, but I seem to be muddling through. This afternoon I went to Chalfront St. Peter's Church and I spoke with Father Martin about the funeral. We're going to have a simple graveside ceremony. I don't expect many to attend.
I'll be there. But do you need any other assistance?
What do you mean?
I heard that you and Lord Peter are selling some of your furnishings, in addition to the diamond. True?
Yes, true.
Also that Lord Peter had gambling debts.
Apparently you know quite a bit about my husband's affairs.
Just rumors around the club. It said he owed Jack Sentry quite a bit. Do you know who that is?
Jack Sentry. Yes, I know him all too well.
How so?
When Peter first introduced me to him, he claimed he was an old friend, and he seemed colorful, even charming. But one day when he dropped by the home, Peter had Collier deny he was there. And after that I made some inquiries, and I found that he is a notorious bookmaker, and he has a number of former convicts working for him. When I asked Peter if he was in danger, he claimed not, but I had my doubts, and it's strange. When I first married Peter, I was so sheltered. I'd never seen fear in a man before. Mr. Anslow.
Am I right that the Star of Arabia disappeared the day of the murder and that it is not in the vault at Sotheby's?
Yes. It's true. The star is missing, and they're searching for our button. But I have my doubts.
Why is that?
They don't know him. He is quite the noble sort. Or was. He's gone missing as well, and I'm afraid he's come into some harm. Mr. Anslow, I believe that Jack Sentry has the diamond.
You think that Sentry killed Lord Peter?
Not by himself, but one of his men.
I see.
And in fact, he was at our home the day Peter was murdered. He didn't want me to know, but I saw him outside.
So your theory is that the murderer came here with Sentry to kill Lord Peter and steal the diamond?
Yes.
Have you said that to the police?
I tried, but they're fixed on Collier, believing he killed Peter and took the diamond.
A And they haven't questioned Sentry?
Well, I'm sure they have, but they don't suspect him.
What does Sherlock Holmes think?
I wish I knew. He just seems completely unworried, as if the diamond will just appear on its own.
Well, perhaps I'll go have a word with Jack Sentry.
I can't ask you to do that. What if one of his ruffians are there?
I've handled the likes of them before.
Have you now? I know almost nothing about you other than you're an artist.
Amateur.
Where are you from?
I grew up in the Transvaal. My family had a plantation there, but we lost it in the Boer War. I earned a royal commission, saw a good deal of action before settling in London.
How did you come to know men like Century's convicts?
At Aldershot, I was assigned to the glass house. Know what that is?
Yeah, the military prison.
That's right. Corrections facility, they called it. So, for those who stepped out of line, I corrected them.
My goodness.
Lady Iris, rest assured, if Sentry has your diamond, I'll get it back.
Will you be able to check the safe?
I'll persuade him to give me a combination if necessary.
I'm sure you could. Perhaps you tell Century that I want to settle Peter's gambling debts. That will surely get you in the door.
Not a bad idea. What do you think?
It's rather flattering. It's very kind of you to help me like this. How may I repay you, Mr. Anslow?
You can start by calling me Douglas.
Douglas. Douglas Anslow. Quite a good name.
Thank you, Iris. We've met before, you know.
I was wondering if you had forgotten. Yes. It was my one and only fox hunt with Peter.
I recall he had some difficulty staying up on his horse.
Yes. Falling off gave him an excuse to quit early and continue drinking brandy. Medicinally, of course.
The turf gave his arse quite a pounding. Rather wet day for August, as I recall, but may I say you look lovely?
Sodden boots and all.
I wanted to pull those boots off of you.
Did you now?
Along with your joggers.
I must say, I am very thankful for your company and your drawing and making me laugh, but I am newly widowed, Mr. Anslow.
Douglas.
Douglas.
Forgive me, gentlemen, for not inviting you up to my suite, but I would have missed my favorite part of the day, tea time at Claridge's. It is foolish of me, but I'm a foolish old woman, and I love nothing better than to sit and look at what the fashionable ladies are wearing.
Oh, we wouldn't dream of depriving you of that pleasure, Madame Corona. Would we, Holmes?
Certainly not.
Oh, but you gentlemen are both so handsome. Who wants to look at their women? So, how may I help you?
It's about the Star of Arabia, Madame Corona. Holmes and I were wondering if you still wish to bid on it.
Oh, yes. When will it be auctioned?
Yeah, Lady Iris hasn't decided yet, but when she does, may we contact you here?
Well, I shall be here until May, and then in Paris until July. I hope she won't wait any longer than that, as I intend to return to Russia for the summer.
Madame Corona, why do you wish to purchase the Star?
That's a state secret.
I'm sorry, so you won't tell us.
Of course I'll tell you. I love telling secrets. It's the best kind of conversation. I'm buying it for the Tsarevich.
Alexander.
Oh, no! Alexander is the Tsar. He's dying, poor man, and he's only 49. Don't repeat that, by the way. The Tsarevich is his son, Nicholas, the crown prince.
And why does he want it?
Oh, he will make a wedding gift of it for someone.
For his bride.
No, if he gives it away, it will be for his mistress Matilda, She's a famous ballerina, Matilda Kaczynska. Have you heard of her?
I saw her dance the Pharaoh's daughter. 9 curtain calls.
Yes, she was superb.
But Madame Karovna, isn't it a bit odd to be giving one's mistress a gift at such a time? Why would he do that?
To get rid of her and to keep her quiet. It's not enough that Nicholas bought her a grand house or that he showers her in furs and jewels. There's no telling what that girl will say. She's forever feuding with people. That's why Nicholas headed her off to Sergei.
Sergei? Who is Sergei?
Nicholas's brother, the Grand Duke Sergei Alexandrovich.
Oh, and when you say hand it off, you mean...
She sleeps with both of them. Matilda gets around.
How remarkable.
Yes, well, that's all done with now. If Nicholas so much as waves at her, it will cause an international scandal. After all, he's married a German princess.
But what about his brother Sergei?
Oh, he can go on sleeping with her. No one cares what a Grand Duke does. But I happen to know Matilda's taken up with a new beau, the Grand Duke Andrei Vladimirovich. I tell you, she is a lovely girl and a beautiful dancer, but she's the most brazen whore in all St. Petersburg.
Most illuminating. Why, thank you for your time, Madame Karovna. Come, Watson.
Oh, must you go? I haven't even told you about the hideous growth on this ass nose. I think that's what's killing him.
Some other time, perhaps.
I meant no offense when I refused your offer to buy me a whiskey. I do not drink alcohol and therefore have no reason to enter a pub. Besides, the air is much fresher here.
The park is fine with me.
Now, what can I do for you, Mr. Enslow?
Sheikh Bakri, may I take you into my confidence?
Regarding the diamond,
Yes,
you wish to reveal something disturbing.
I do.
If it is that star is a curse, this I am already aware.
No, it's not the curse, it's the fact that the stone is missing.
My suspicions were correct. Has it been stolen?
The police think so. They are searching for the Caradays, but
Servants are always the first to be suspected. I'm grateful for your news, but I wonder why you bother.
because I'm mounting my own search for the diamond.
You know what to do?
I have a very good idea, and I intend to go there, but first I wanted to know just how much you wish to obtain the diamond.
By how much, I assume you mean a number.
Exactly. What would you pay me?
You.
That's right, me.
But Lady Iris.
I trust you not to mention it to her or anyone else.
I see. The Star of Arabia has been stolen and sold many times. Its provenance is written in the venom of scorpions. I wish to ransom it from the West and return it to Arabia. But if I am to purchase it in secret, rather than at a public auction, my price will be considerably less.
I repeat, how much?
May I remind you, Mr. Enslow, the star is missing.
I'll find it.
Suppose you do. Then what? Will the police follow? What about the person you take it from? Would they not want it back? You see, Mr. Enslow, buying at a public auction is a much safer option for me.
I can assure you no one will pursue it.
How do you know this? Explain it.
Lord Peter owes money to a bookmaker named Jack Sentry, a criminal, really. He was the last man known to have seen his lordship alive. He was very possibly accompanied that day by a thug who killed Lord Peter. Together, they stole the diamond. If I take it back from Sentry, he'll be in no position to go to the police.
I see. If I agree to purchase a stone from you, you must not try to get a higher price from anyone else, lest you be exposed. And you must bring it to me the moment you have it. Will you abide by these conditions?
I will.
Tell me the price.
5,000 pounds.
Agreed. When will I hear from you?
Tonight.
And I shall not detain you. Good day, Mr. Henry.
Good day.
You may approach, Omar. The gentleman is gone.
I didn't mean to eavesdrop, Sheikh Bakri.
Of course you're going to eavesdrop, Omar. Obsequiousness is your gift. Why don't you use it?
Of course you're right.
Say, please. You want my translation?
Yes, 2 copies, as you requested. I checked them. You will find the English is excellent, I can assure you.
Excellent.
Sheikh Bakri, I was wondering if you could pay me more than we had agreed upon. I have urgent debts.
You've been wagering on horses, I take. You've lost.
Yes, but only because I was desperate. Now, I am even more desperate.
Sorry to hear this, Omar. But we made a bargain for 10 pounds. A fair, even generous sum. It is money.
Sheikh Bakri, if you will not pay me any more, perhaps you can assign me another translation or some other task. I will be your most devoted servant. My life depends on it. Is there nothing else I can do?
How much more do you need?
Another 10 pounds.
Your life is collected for 10 pounds. That's all you owe?
No, I owe more, much more, but 10 pounds will buy me some time.
Omar, did you know the contents of the manuscript that you translated?
Yes, the legend of the Star of Arabia.
It's more than a legend. The star is real, and it is in London. Find it for me, Omar, and I'll purchase you back. Bring it to me, and I will make you a very wealthy man. Will you do this?
Yes, I'll start right away.
No doubt you've heard of the others searching for it. Mr. Sherlock Holmes has been engaged to security. He has rooms at 221B, Baker Street. Deliver this copy to Mr. Holmes. Begin your search there. Here is a 10-pound advance. I wish you good fortune in your search.
Oh, thank you, Sheikh Bakri.
Get out, don't kneel down, Omar. The pigeons have befouled the pavement.
Thank you. Tracy here tonight. Will you ask him to my table? How long will you be in London? It is yet to be determined. Dimitri. seat, Dimitri. Sonia, join us.
How many service?
Dimitri, are you at liberty to leave London for possibly 2 weeks?
I can arrange.
And how much notice will you need before you?
No.
And you, Sonia?
I'm at your service.
I may be hurrying back to Russia and will need your protection.
Protection? You shall have protection all the way to Moscow if necessary.
No, I can't ask you to do that. It's too dangerous.
Oh, but madam, we owe you so much. We owe you our lives.
No, you will accompany me as far as Minsk and then take the return train. I will be met there by other escorts. Needless to say, Sonia, you must never leave my side. And Dmitri, you must stay nearby, but unnoticed.
Oh, I don't care if I'm seen with you, not even by the Tsar's secret police.
We must avoid them. Now listen to me. I hope to obtain a highly valuable jewel here in London. For years I have searched for it, but always it has eluded me.
May I ask why you seek it, madam?
My late husband purchased it for me from the Sultan of the Ottomans. But when Turkey and Russia went to war, my husband was killed and the stone was reclaimed by the Sultan.
But why do you wish to go to Russia?
It's for the Tsarevich. He knows how much it means to me. Once I give it to him, I will ask him to return our comrades from Siberia. All of them. It is not certain whether I can obtain the jewel, but if I succeed, I'll need to depart at once. Here is the money for your train fare, your family, and for you. Take it now. There won't be time later, and we cannot meet again. Sonia, expect to hear from me within the week.
Very well, madam.
Thank you. You are good friends.
You are the savior of our children. I would die for you.
I pray it will not come to that.